Let's see some examples. Okay, here's an example. I didn't want to show you the next example. Why is I wanted? Okay, cool. I guess ठीक है. I think nothing is wrong so far. Is there something wrong here? Yeah, there's something wrong here. Let's not assume कि ये वाला part नहीं है यहाँ पे. Okay, let's just look at this part. Let's define a relation. Okay, and then ask a couple of questions. First, let's read through the relation and let's try to figure out what the relation is. So, kind of a pattern is developing in my, okay, your answers to my questions and then my objections on your answers, okay? And let me tell you what that is, okay? That's basically, your answers are very specific examples, okay? When I ask you, for example, for equivalence relation or anti-symmetric relation, you tell me, okay, 1-1 is an equivalence, anti-symmetric relation. That's fine, that's the right example, that's not a wrong answer. But it's not generic enough to convey the meaning of anti-symmetry, okay? So think of examples that are much more generic than just, I don't know, a few examples. Okay, here's a kind of helpful hint. जो आप underlying set ले रहे हैं ना, जिसके ऊपर आप अपनी example मुझे बता रहे हैं, think of that set to be arbitrary. Okay, वो set आपने मुझे नहीं बताना, उसके ऊपर जो relation है ना, वो आपने मुझे बताना है. Okay, that relation should be valid on a million different sets. Okay, so for example, when I say less than or equal to, that's a very generic example of a relation, है ना? You can think of a million different sets जिनके ऊपर that is a valid relation and that remains an anti-symmetric relation. Okay, so try to think of your examples as much more generic, that are describable just by the relation and not the underlying set. Okay, underlying set मैं खुद सोच सकता हूँ कि मैंने integers लेने हैं या reals लेने हैं या मैंने subsets लेने हैं, whatever I want to pick them. But you just describe me कि relation क्या होगा उस set के elements के बीच में. Am I confusing you or is it making anything clear for anyone? Clarify people or confuse people? People who are confused by what I just said. Come on, it's all right. Okay, Fatma, right? Fatma is confused. I don't know your name. Adan, okay. No, not at all. What's your name? Amara. Okay, cool. Okay, there are 4 people. Okay, Ryan is confused. Zen? What? Ahmed? Wow, Ahmed. Wow, I didn't think there was an Ahmed in my class. Is there any other Ahmed? Sorry guys. Okay, Ahmed is confused. Alright, let me repeat what I just said. Okay? So मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि मैं जब आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछता हूँ ना, the thing I love or like about this class is that it has to be interactive. Okay, जब मैं इस क्लास से जाता हूँ ना, I should have myself learned something new. Okay, that's what I want. और उसके लिए interaction is extremely important part. Okay, you guys need to talk. I cannot stand here and talk for 70-80 minutes or whatever. Okay, and we are kind of doing really good on that. That's not bad. We are doing fine on that. So उसमें the way I interact with you guys is I ask you questions. Okay? Sometimes those questions are fair, sometimes they are not. Because the answers are going to the next slide, they are not on the previous slide. Okay? So in that way they are at times unfair. But regarding the questions, many of the questions are जिसमें आपसे कोई example पूछता हूँ. Okay? ठीक है? Examples could be very specific and your examples are usually very specific. Okay? Okay? और उसकी मैंने अभी example दिया आपको. When I asked you for an anti-symmetric relation, you gave me 2 answers. One was 1-1. That's a very valid example. And someone said 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. Okay? That's also a correct answer. That's not a wrong answer. But it does not convey the meaning of anti-symmetry. That relation could be 100 other things. Okay? To convey the meaning of anti-symmetry, you need to give me a much more generic example. Okay? And an example of a generic example is, जिसमें आप रिलेशन तो डिस्क्राइब कर देते हैं, लेकिन जो जिस सेट के ऊपर वो रिलेशन बना हुआ है वो सेट आप डिस्क्राइब नहीं करते. वो आप कहते हैं कि तुम कोई भी सेट ले लो और ये मैंने रिलेशन डिफाइन किया है, उस सेट के ऊपर ये रिलेशन लगाओगे तो यू विल गेट एन एग्जांपल ऑफ एंटायर सिमेट्री. ओके, ठीक है. इसी तरह फॉर एग्जांपल इफ आई आस्क यू फॉर एन एग्जांपल ऑफ एन इक्विवेलेंस रिलेशन, टेल मी अ रिलेशन कि पेयर्स के बीच में रिलेशन कब होगा और कब नहीं होगा. डोंट टेल मी कि सेट क्या है. ओके, सेट मैं खुद सोच लूँगा. जब ऐसे आप कोई रिलेशन मुझे बताएंगे ना, वो बहुत जेनेरिक होगा, है ना, क्योंकि मैं नीचे से कोई भी उसके ऊपर सेट के ऊपर उसको फिक्स कर लूँगा. ठीक है, मेक्स स्लाइटली बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ व्हाट आई एम सेइंग. अहमद, द अदर अहमद. ओके, कूल. फातिमा. ओके, कूल. सो हियर्स एन एग्जांपल ऑफ, मेरे हिसाब से दिस इज एन एग्जांपल ऑफ अ वेरी जेनेरिक रिलेशन. अब क्वेश्चन आपसे ये है कि इज दिस an equivalence relation? Okay, so let's read the thing. It says कि what it says is कि think of a set A. Okay, you can think of any set in your mind, and वो ये कह रहे हैं कि उस सेट के जो सबसेट्स हैं उसके ऊपर मैं रिलेशन डिफाइन कर रहा हूँ. Okay, two subsets will be related to each other if their cardinalities are equal. Okay, ठीक है. दिस इज अ कंप्लीट डेफिनेशन ऑफ अ रिलेशन. रिलेशन डिफाइन हो चुका है. ओके, अब इसको समझने के लिए यू कैन थिंक ऑफ एन ए टू बी 1 2 3 4 और जस्ट 1 2 और व्हाटएवर यू वांट. ओके, बट रिलेशन अब यहाँ तक डिफाइन हो चुका है, एंड इट इज़ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग इन वेरी जेनेरिक रिलेशन, है ना. इट्स एन अमेजिंग रिलेशन. मैं आई थिंक अब तक मैंने जो कुछ आपको पढ़ाया था, आपने कभी भी नहीं सोचा होगा कि एक रिलेशन इस तरह बन सकता है कि मैंने एक सेट लिया, उसके मैंने फिर दो सेट्स सबसेट्स उठाए हैं और कहा है कि इनको मैं रिलेट करूंगा या नहीं करूंगा. ओके, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ एग्जांपल देन द काइंड ऑफ एग्जांपल्स वी हैव सीन सो फार. ओके, it's very useful. People do PhDs on these kind of relations, just on this thing, and people have been doing PhDs on this line for the last 50 years. All right, do we understand the relation at this point, or do we need a more specific example of this relation? We need a more specific example. Okay, so that's why you cannot become a kind of a combinatorialist. Yeah. Okay, no, you can do PhD, but not in probably discrete math. Okay. Okay, cool. So let me give you an example. Okay, the specific example is where I take A to be 1 2 3. Okay. अब जो मेरी अंडरलाइंग एंटिटीज हैं जिनको मैंने रिलेट करना है वो क्या हैं? रमीन, वो क्या हैं? किन चीज़ों को मैंने रिलेट करना है? इसके सबसेट्स का. गुड, आई एम हैप्पी टू हियर दैट. ओके, सो इसके सबसेट्स में आपके पास एक फायर, ओके, और बहुत सारी चीज़ें. ओके, सो इसमें से you'll have 1 2, pardon my writing here, but I don't know, you understand what I'm saying here. Okay. ओके, अब ये चीज़ें हैं, इनको मैंने रिलेट करना या नहीं करना. ओके, और वहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है कि मैं उस वक्त रिलेट करूँगा जब उनकी कार्डिनलिटीज़ बराबर होंगी. ओके, गिव मी एन एग्जांपल जहाँ पे ये रिलेट हो रहे होंगे. कौन से दो एलिमेंट्स हैं जो रिलेट हो रहे होंगे? 1 and 2. Okay, cool. So there is a relation between 1 and 2. Okay, 1 and 2 are related. Okay, इसी तरीके से 2 and 3 are related, but I wanted to say 2 and 1 are related. Okay, because that's, you need to specify it. Okay, इसी तरीके से 2 and 3 are related, and so on. Okay, so now you understand. इसी तरीके से 1 2 and 2 3 are related, है ना? Good. Is empty set related to anything? No. Similarly, this set is also not related to anything, है ना? इसकी कार्डिनलिटी 0 है, किसी और सेट की कार्डिनलिटी 0 नहीं है. इसकी कार्डिनलिटी 3 है और किसी और सेट की कार्डिनलिटी 3 नहीं है. ठीक है. After this example, do we understand what this relationship is? Is this an equivalence relation?
Yes.
Okay. You stand up and tell me how.
Transitive भी बन रहा है, reflexive भी और symmetric भी.
It's reflexive because अगर एक सेट है उसकी कार्डिनलिटी अपनी कार्डिनलिटी के बराबर होगी. Okay, so it's related to, every set is related to itself. Transitive कैसे है?
Premise false हो गया, check नहीं होगा.
हाँ, अगर आपके पास premise false नहीं है actually.
क्योंकि वो 2 equal to 2 cardinality तो उतनी रहेगी.
So देखो, transitivity के लिए you need 3 sets इस example में, जिसमें x is related to y, y is related to z, and possibly x is related to z or not. That's what you need to check.
बस 2 sets.
No, ये आपके पास तो बहुत सारे सेट्स हैं. आपके पास कितने सेट्स हैं? यहाँ पे आपके पास 8 सेट्स हैं, हाँ? तो आपके पास सेट्स तो हैं, आप ट्रांजिटिविटी चेक तो कर सकते हैं.
फिर भी
Is it a cat somewhere? Or someone is making, I don't know. I don't believe anything anymore, okay? Whoa. I mean, AI is, okay. I don't know, okay. I don't believe there is a cat anywhere, okay? Okay, let me deceive myself for a moment. So what I'm saying is that over here, let's think of x, y, z as 1, 2, 3. We can think of them as such, है ना? And x is related to y, and y is related to z, and x is also related. This happens, right? So premise is not false, but conclusion is true, right? Conclusion is always true. So it's transitive, and it's also symmetric. Okay? अगर x की cardinality y की cardinality के बराबर है, तो y की cardinality x की cardinality के बराबर होगी. Okay? Are we good? So it's an example of a equivalence relation. Good point. Next question. That's where I want to kind of, how many equivalence classes do you have? Okay, silence. Everyone, pin drop silence. I'm going to give you, do we have a quiz or a worksheet today? Worksheet. I'm going to give you 2 points on worksheet. For the first correct answer, raise your hands and you get only one chance. If you make a mistake, you're not going to get another chance. I didn't ask you to tell me the answer, man. Come on. Silence. Raise hands and tell me the answer. Go ahead.
Power set minus empty set.
Power set minus empty set. No. Go ahead.
Elements in set minus one.
Elements in set minus 1. No, actually. Yeah. 3. No, for 2 reasons. One, it's a very specific answer. Second, it's a wrong answer, even for the specific example. Okay, go ahead.
Power set minus 2.
Power set minus 2. Okay, no. For 2 reasons. One, the species of your answer is different from the species of the answers I'm asking for. Secondly, if I kind of transform the species of your answer to the species of actual answers, those would be wrong होगा. Okay? I tell a lot of jokes in this class जो लोगों को बिल्कुल नहीं समझ आते और like okay ठीक है. Go ahead.
Power n minus 1.
No.
Or minus 2.
This is your third try. Be silent from now on. क्या हंसना? Wrong. This is an example. Go try. I want to give 2 points to someone today. When people who have tried, just remain silent from now on. The question is, this is a relation. और अभी हमने तय कर लिया सबने मिलके कि ये equivalence है, equivalence relation है, okay? Equivalence relation always creates a partition, okay? And it creates clumps जिनको हम equivalence classes कहते हैं. Question ये है कि इस relation की वजह से जो clumps वो कितने होंगे? How many clumps would you get? Okay? How many equivalence classes would you get? Okay? Ryan. 12. Wrong. Muneeb. Wrong. Number of elements plus 1, guys. Come on. This is so simple. She got it, Hafsa. There are a number of elements plus 1. Okay? Does anyone get it? No. Okay, cool. So here's the thing. You would have a class जिसके अंदर cardinality 0 है क्योंकि there is always an empty set. Yes? You would have a class जिसके अंदर सिर्फ एक element है. है ना? So इसके अंदर जो एलिमेंट्स हैं उनकी कार्डिनलिटी n-1 होगी. My question is, what's the size of this clump? How many things would be in this clump?
2 power n minus 1.
कौन बोल रहा है? बोल जो. कुछ नहीं होता यार, क्या हो गया? कौन था? 2 raised to power something you said. 2 raised to power
n minus 1.
2 raised to power n-1 he says, and he is wrong, definitely wrong, but here or here? कहाँ पे करना है? It's alright to be wrong. Why are you ashamed of being wrong, guys? Come on, okay. That makes me embarrassed, okay? Mubin. I mean, that's definitely wrong, right? But how many elements, how many sets do you have of size n-1? Unsela something? Unsela? Oh, okay, cool. How many elements do you have? 2 raised to power n? No, that's wrong. That's too big. Isn't it easy to see? Probably not. Okay, so iska jo size hai, that's going to be n. There will be n sets jinka size n-1. Okay? And why is that? The reason behind is कि किसी एक सेट को कंस्ट्रक्ट करने के लिए जिसके अंदर n-1 एलिमेंट्स हैं, what you need to do is you need to throw one element out, है ना? एक एलिमेंट अगर उस n में से निकाल देंगे ना, तो you would get a set of size n-1, है ना? How many choices do you have to throw one element out? And choices, है ना? So basically, complement of every set here would be here. So for example, 1 का complement is 2, 3, तो 2, 3 को यहाँ पे होना चाहिए. 2 का complement is 1, 3, तो 1, 3 को यहाँ पे होना चाहिए. Okay? यहाँ पे हर सेट का complement यहाँ पे होगा और यहाँ पे हर सेट का complement यहाँ पे होगा. अगर इसका साइज n है तो फिर इसका साइज n के अलावा कुछ नहीं हो सकता. ठीक है, इब्राहिम? Make sense? All right, what's the largest clump, guys? Fatma? Second one. Okay, that's a better answer than the ones I have heard so far. How many elements would you get in the set? So assume कि n बहुत बड़ा है. Okay, अब हम n को assume करें कि 100 है. Okay, और जो आपके पास second है उसके अंदर आपके पास you get 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 100, and then 2, 1, and so on. Okay, so what's the size of this clump?
12.
No, but this is now seriously unfair question, okay? Because I haven't told you anything about it. You have learned this thing in high school, so I guess it's a little bit fair. Like, I don't rely on your high school knowledge, so okay, unfair question. This is big. This is close to n square. This is a little bit smaller than n square. It's n choose 2 or something like that. Okay. The largest clump is going to be the one in the middle. Okay. So if you have a set of 100 elements, the largest clump is going to be of 50 size elements. Okay, that's going to be seriously big. That's going to be it's going to be 10 choose 50, which is close to 100 raised to power 50 divided by something, I don't know, whatever. Okay. All right, cool, moving on. So this is, yes, this is an equivalence relation, and this you guys got. This is n plus 1. This is n over n choose 2 for n odd n. So that's the biggest one. I think I have another question, which is this. Consider the intersection relation on the power set of a set. Is this an equivalence? How many equivalence classes do we have? What's the largest one? Bolo? It's not an equivalence relation. Why?
इंटरसेक्शन एम्प्टी सेट होना चाहिए वो इक्विवेलेंस होता है. तीन सेट्स में लास्ट स्लाइड
लास्ट स्लाइड पे मैंने ये कहा था कि कोई भी एक इक्वलेंस क्लास एम्प्टी नहीं होनी चाहिए, है ना?
उनका इंटरसेक्शन एम्प्टी होना चाहिए क्लासेस साथ।
हाँ, क्लासेस का इंटरसेक्शन एम्प्टी होना चाहिए। ओके,
यहाँ पे एम्प्टी नहीं है लिखा हुआ।
कहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है?
Whenever-
Oh, no. So this is the definition of the relation. ये relation की definition है. Okay? इस relation की definition को use करके आप equivalence classes create करेंगे, उनका intersection लेंगे, वो empty नहीं होना चाहिए. Okay? This empty is different from that empty. Okay? Papers and pens, people. निवल कहाँ है आपका पेपर? पेपर बहुत ज़रूरी है। मैं इसीलिए कोशिश करता हूँ कि पहले मैं स्लाइड्स शेयर नहीं करता था लोगों के साथ। स्लाइड्स शेयर ना करें तो फिर लोग क्लास में काम करते हैं। Try to creating the equivalence classes इसके through, okay? Remember the definition of an equivalence class or equivalence relation, okay? It has to be reflexive, it has to be transitive, it has to be symmetric. So does this thing create that? Does this thing create an equivalence relation? Okay? Try to start करें किसी arbitrary set A के साथ और उसके ऊपर ये काम करके देखें. Okay? इसी के ऊपर कर लें. मैंने आपको सेट दे दिया है, उसका पावर सेट भी दे दिया है. Okay? Wow, we have 2 Ahmeds in class. अब्दुल्ला हमारे पास कितने हैं? अब्दुल्ला, your name is Abdul Rahman, है ना? Okay. Okay, just one Abdullah, or at least one present Abdullah. Does anyone has an answer for me? बोलो यार, कुछ तो बोलो. बोल के लबाज आते हैं तेरे. रायान, बेटा आगे आ जाओ, आगे आ जाओ. तुम वहाँ ना बैठा करो यार, तुम मेरे फेवरेट स्टूडेंट हो, तुम यहाँ पे बैठा करो. इसको एक स्पेशल चेयर दे दें वहाँ पे, जो इसके साइन कर दें. वहाँ पे और कोई नहीं बैठेगा. लिखते हैं उसके ऊपर रायान का नाम लिखते हैं. Okay, go ahead, do it. इब्राहिम, बोलो यार, बोलो, कहो यार, कुछ गलत कह दो. हर कोई गलत ही कह रहा है, कोई ठीक नहीं कह रहा हफ्सा के अलावा, लेकिन कह दो.
अगर प्रोफेसर इंटरसेक्शन लेंगे लाइक 5 किसी भी
सेट का
सेट के साथ, तो एम्प्टी भी बेसिकली आएगा बिकॉज देयर इज नथिंग कॉमन विद 5.
यस,
So intersection exists. This like straight in equax and intersection y is not equal to 5. Very wrong with it.
okay, good, good, very good. But I think just simpler मेरे ख्याल में reason है for this thing not being equivalence relation is that this fails transitivity. Okay, you can easily think of 3 sets where one is related to second, the second is related to third, but the first one is not related to third. Can you think of such an example? Can you think of such an example? So I can give you an example. So think कि आपका जो पहला set है, it has 1 4, okay, and the second one has 1 3, and the third one is 3 2, okay. So this guy is related, है ना, and this guy is also related, but this guy is not related. Okay, it's very easy to see. Okay, you can have a set that's, yeah, I mean I have written what I wanted to say. Okay, should we move on? But keep these two relations as at the back of your mind. Whenever I give you a problem on relations or where a relation is not defined, these examples should be in the back of your mind. These are very interesting examples of relations. Okay, one where you connect to sets if they are same cardinality, and the second when you connect two sets if they have non-empty intersections. Cool.